Bird's Eye View breakdown, listeners, viewers, and guests alike. We are back at it. The bye week is over. Yes. Uh, Welcome to another episode of the Bird's Eye View breakdown, powered by Expansion Team. And shout out to the Eagles on getting the win. Ugly win, but we got the win nonetheless. But let's get into this the way that you know that we like to get into it. Let's break down these quarterback stats going through to I believe we're in week 6 right now. Going through to week 6, passing yards. We have the passing yards leader, Geno Smith at number 1, Brock Purdy number 2, Dak Prescott number 3, Kirk Cousins number 4, Joe Burrow number 5, C.J. Stroud 6, Lamar Jackson. Shout out Lamar on, having a huge week coming up. Lamar Jackson. What's that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Baker Mayfield 8. Jayden Daniels at 9. And Daniel Jones at number 10. The top 10 passing yards leaders, man. And let's go to the completion leaders. After this week, we gotta get all these. Wow. Jayden Daniels leads the bunch. Once you get to the non-quarterbacks, Jayden Daniels leads the bunch at 75.3. You have let me see how many passes is that. Tyrod Taylor. See, it's hard to break down these joints when you get to here. We got Jared Goff in there at 71. Joe Burrow at 71.6. Jalen Hurts falls to 67.5. Man, you know what I'm saying? Just give y'all the top 5 touchdown leaders in the league so far. Baker Mayfield at number 1 with 15 touchdowns. Joe Burrow at number 2 with 12. Jordan Love at number 3 with 12. Sam Darnold at number 4 with 11. Lamar Jackson at number 5 with 10. You know what I'm saying? I don't know, y'all. Like I said before, man, we say it's a passing league. It might not be a passing league because the guys is leading the passing stats don't seem like the guys that you would assume just doing it. But, the league may be changing. It may be changing. Because as you can see, Patrick Mahomes, the undefeated quarterback, is not necessarily leading the thing. So, slow and steady wins the race. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, shout out to all the quarterbacks on the list, man. But, like I said, shout out to the Eagles on getting a hard-fought win. Let's go to the standings before we break down this Eagles game. We only talk about the NFC standings. We don't talk about the AFC. So let's go to the NFC standings. Where's the NFC at? Leading the NFC East, we have the Washington Commanders at 4-2. The Eagles following up at 3-2. In the NFC North, we have the Minnesota Vikings at an undefeated 5-0. The Detroit Lions coming behind with 4-1. In the NFC South, we have the Atlanta Falcons leading that with 4-2. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers at 4-2. In the NFC West, we have the San Francisco 49ers leading there at 3-3. And the Seattle Seahawks also at 3-3. You know what I'm saying? Tied within the NFC West. Man, the league is very topsy-turvy, man. You know what I'm saying? Who would have thought that the Minnesota Vikings would be undefeated to this point with the Kansas City Chiefs. I know the Kansas City Chiefs is probably a given, but who would have thought that the Minnesota Vikings to this point would be tied? Who would think to this point that Sam Darnold could possibly be an MVP, running candidate? So, like I said, man, the league is very topsy-turvy right now. You know what I'm saying? Are the defenses catching up to the quarterbacks? Is it still a passing league? Or is it a league that where you need to run it back to rely on the play action pass for your quarterback, and we're gonna dink and dunk our way up the field. Big plays may not dominate the game like we think they do. So, you know what I'm saying? Nonetheless, let's get into the game that our Philadelphia Eagles played. Philadelphia Eagles played the Cleveland Browns, and for the fifth. Well, this was week 6, but we had the bye week. For the 5th week in a row, the Philadelphia Eagles have yet to score in the first quarter. And they follow suit again. Still started out slow. The game was a very slow, dragging game. The defense held up. Defense held up very well. You know what I'm saying? Quinyon Mitchell had a great game. Cooper DeJean, you know what I mean, had a great game as well. You know, like they moved him to something that like a linebacker. You know what I mean? He played that nickel back spot. You know what I mean, very well. Got a sack. Got a sack. Got a sack. I believe he got his sack before Bryce Huff got his sack, even though Bryce Huff did lead the game with half a sack this game. You know what I'm saying? But it seems as though Fangio is getting the guys acclimated to his defense. Now, with that said, shout out to him by getting the guys acclimated to his defense. I don't know. A lot of people are saying that this offense looks similar to last year's offense. The reason why I don't think so, because we have Jalen Hurts running the ball more. I believe that Jalen Hurts didn't run the ball as effective last year due to the injury of the knee injury. So it's hard to say that it looks like last year's offense. Just going into this game, Jalen Hurts was 16 for 25, 264 yards, 2 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. Great. Saquon Barkley, 18 attempts, 47 yards. Jalen Hurts, 14 attempts, 33 yards. Gainwell got in there with 3 attempts, 23 yards. Dotson on the rushing end got 1 attempt for 13 yards. You know what I'm saying? So A.J. Brown back in the mix. 6 receptions, 116 yards and a touchdown. Calcaterra, 4 receptions, 67 yards. We had Devontae Smith, 3 receptions, 64 yards, and a touchdown as well. So listen, the boys that we needed to come back and showed up, came back and showed up. Shout out to them. Even though we are going to say it was an ugly win, I still believe that the Eagles controlled the game. It was a 57-yard field goal that got blocked going into the half, that got ran in for a touchdown that I believe would not have had happened. You know what I'm saying? That's blocked field goals. How often do they happen? You know what I'm saying? So that right there was a turning point that tied the game up for the Browns, when you figure even if we missed that field goal because of how inefficient Deshaun Watson and the Cleveland Browns offense was, even if we missed that field goal, do we believe that they're going to come down and score a touchdown? You know what I mean? But that was pivotal for them. You know, that led to a touchdown, and then third quarter they put 3 more points on the board. You know what I mean? Which was a swing. The Eagles did what the Eagles needed to do. Now, Eagles fans, Birds fans, Philadelphia, you know what I mean, natives and everything. Y'all know how we are. We are very, they say we are a very rough city to play for. Our expectations of our sports teams and sports players alike are very high. You know what I'm saying? Very, very high. And I believe that we are not getting the proper production out of the players that we have. Man, I just excuse me. I would love to just wonder what a Howie Roseman and Jeffrey Lurie are thinking at this point, because you know they spent a lot of money to extend A.J. Brown's contract, to spend Devontae Smith's contract, to go get a wide receiver in Dotson, to bring a Saquon Barkley to the team, to get a Bryce Huff. They spent a lot of money this offseason. You know what I'm saying? And I know for a fact that this is not the production that they wanted. But like I said, like we said, not last week because it was a bye week. We took the week off. The week before that, this is one undisciplined Philadelphia Eagles team, and it starts with the head coach. Not only did the Boo Birds come out, you know what I'm saying, the chance of fire Nick Sirianni, you know what I'm saying, filled the stadium. And another undisciplined moment by him, just going back and forth and jarring with the fans, your own fans at that. Not just in away fans, you jarring with the Eagles fans. And if you know us, we are not the fans that you want to go back and you do not want us on your bad side. Trust me, you do not want the Eagles fan base on your bad side. Which just uh, even in a win, how much does Jeffrey Lurie and Howie Roseman continue to let him do what he want to do? Continue to let him be this immature head coach that has this taking this solace in these soft and very undisciplined wins. When asked, why does the offense start out slow? Nick Sirianni said, well, the defense, did their job. Y'all keep asking me the same question. Well, you keep getting asked the same questions because we keep going through the same results. And it seems as though you don't have the answers for the questions that you're getting asked. And you know what I'm saying? And even asked about the joining back with the fans. Well, they call for the firing of the Nick Sirianni chants begin, and at the end of the game, I was looking for the fans that did that. Oh, trust me, they're not going nowhere. Even in the win, the conversation remains the same. Fire, Nick Sirianni. The expectations of this team to this point, I do believe that this team, we are 3-2. The 2 games that we lost were very demonstrous. The Eagles fan base believe that we probably should be one of those teams that's 5-0 with the talent that we have. It's just I felt going into this season reassured because we had veteran coordinators. Not just veteran coordinators and key pieces that were just, going to help them do what they needed to do. Kellen Moore having a Saquon Barkley, a Jaylen HZ, a A.J. Brown, a Devontae Smith, a Dallas Goedert, a top tier offensive line. Offensive line is still trying to find itself because the tush push, the Beverly shove, whatever you want to call it, it does not look the same with the missing of one piece of Jason Kelce. The missing of that one piece, it does not look the same at all, which is something that you think that they will work on. But, give it time. Give it time. That right there, even though it doesn't look the same, it's still yielding the same results. We're still getting the first downs on it. So, but it just does not look the same at all. You know what I'm saying? Our defensive line that we thought was going to be more disruptive as it is with a Jalen Carter, Sweat, a Huff. I don't know. I don't know what this team is because I think this team is still trying to figure out what it is right now. At a point where we should already know what we are. We came out of the offseason knowing exactly what we are. You know what I'm saying? And we're still a team trying to figure out what it is to this point, which is very unsettling. It is. It's very unsettling. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Jalen HZ for having a clean game. No interceptions, no fumbles. You know what I'm saying? No turnovers by us that game, that was very reassuring. A.J. Brown back in the mix and it's just opening the field up, you know what I mean? So I believe this is only the second time that the starters we can't even say the starters played because Dallas Goedert wasn't even out there. So we can't even credit this to be one of the times that we had all the starting the starting lineup out there. There's a game that we missed Dallas Goedert. So we have yet to see what this team could be as a whole other than week 1. Next week we have the New York Giants in MetLife Stadium, which is a game that I hope Kellen Moore is a game that I'm pretty sure Saquon is going to be prepared for. And I believe that you lean on the run heavily. It has to be a game that you just lean on the run heavily. We got to start the game out early and often with the run. That's what we have to do. That's who we have to be. I believe that is the team that we are. Just with around the league, like I said before, we say I didn't pull up the rushing stats and stuff to compare the rushing stats and the running backs to what they're doing on their team compared to the passing stats. Maybe we'll look at that for next week. But like I said before, this right here, it just seems as though we are not a passing team, but we're trying to put ourselves in to make ourselves a passing team. Just like if you watch the game, that last play, to chew that clock up was a deep pass. It's hard to say that you can question the call when it worked, but at that time it worked. So it's hard to even say that you can question that call. You know what I'm saying? And again, Nick Sirianni coming out telling us that plays that were not effective, he was the reason that he called those plays. Oh, the 3rd and 1 that Jaylen got sacked on, I called that play. Another play that another defensive play that didn't work, I called that play. Stop telling us the plays that you called that were ineffective. It's not making Eagles fans, they're not believing in you anymore because you're trying to take the bullet for your offensive coordinator or defensive coordinator. Trust me, we do not care about that at all. You signing your waiver your waiver papers with us by telling us all of the plays that you called that did not work. Trust me, that's not helping you at all. Like I said, this is week 6. We are deep into the season. We're into the meat and potatoes of the season, I should say, where teams are showing you who they are. And into the season, we can talk about the things that happened into the season to this point. Robert Saleh has been fired as the Jets head coach. I don't know what the Jets expected from him, because I mean, what exactly can you expect from an aging Aaron Rodgers coming off of a season where he not only set out the whole season, but the season before that he missed the playoffs? You know what I'm saying? So how much could you expect from Robert Saleh to this point to say this is what this team should be? You know what I'm saying? But it is what it is. The Lions, in a win, also get a loss. The Lions in a dog walk. They came out, listen. The Lions offensive coordinator showed you almost every trick play that he had in his book and the creativity that he had by getting offensive lineman touchdowns. Just the creativity that he had, he unveiled it this game. You know what I mean? As they put up what was the score? Because it was a trump. It was, I believe the score was 40. Let's go. So I want the exact score. It was 47-9. 40-7-9. Dallas has yet to win a home game. Dallas has yet to win a home game to this point. And that game right there, man. The Eagles need a game where we come out and we dominate like that. I'm talking about from quarter 1 to the 4th quarter. That's the games where you as a fan base can stand behind your team and say this win is the win that we can build on, and it'll catapult us into, you know what I mean, just the future moving forward. We have yet to have that win. It's crazy because the times that we went to the Super Bowls, or the times that we won a Super Bowl, the time that we won a Super Bowl, to me, the win that catapulted that was the New York Giants game where we made that 60-yard field goal and it took us to the win. That was the game that just catapulted us and took us straight into where we needed to go. You know what I'm saying? And it pushed us it took us into the place that we needed to go into. Shout out to the Lions. Like I said, the Lions in a win had a very the Lions in the defeating one also lost Hutch, man, who was having a great year for the year. You know what I'm saying? Listen, man, hopefully come back next year on the same trajectory that he did. Hutch suffered a serious left leg injury in the 3rd quarter while he was sacking Dak Prescott. You know what I'm saying? Carted off the field. You know what I'm saying? So he's a fighter, man, all as well. But hopefully Hutch could come back and just continue on what he's been building, man. That's looking like a great career. It's looking like a great career. Man, I don't know what to say for next week because I mean, there's another team that we should dominate, but are we going to dominate? Who knows? Like I said, it's a game that if I'm Kellen Moore, I know this is the game that Saquon Barkley want to run wild, and I let him. I allow him to do that. Let him run wild, and if they try to just stack the box, then you let AJ Brown and Devontae Smith, stretch the field. I believe that has to be the staple of what we do. You know what I'm saying? We have to lead with the run and allow the run to open up the pass. Lead with the run and allow the run for the play action pass so that we can dominate. But the run has to be the thing that we do. Shout out to Jaylen Hurts on the drag route to Devontae Smith. That was a big play too. Because I've been saying for the longest, man, you have to lean into those short plays. You don't always have to look all the way down the field. You know what I'm saying? Everything does not have to be a deep ball. The Eagles, the only NFC East team that's had a win this week. But my thing is, listen, your loss is not my win. It only helps us out in the standings. It doesn't improve what my team is or who we are. We still have the same weaknesses. We still have the same tendencies. Even though you guys lost, it doesn't improve my team. It improves what it looks like in the standings. We need to work on improving the team. And as unfortunate as it is, Nick Sirianni is not the guy. I'm not going to lie. He's not the guy. You know what I'm saying? Even that clip of him drawing back with the fans, I believe the only reason why he still may remain and have a job is because he is a player's coach. Even in the clip, if you watch the clip, you can see Brandon Graham laughing at him at that moment right there. But at what point are you so much of a player's coach that is detrimental to the players? There has to be some type of discipline. As a parent, you have to have some type of discipline in, you being a parent. It can't always be, it's going to be laughs and jokes and I want to be your friend. If things aren't going right, you got to pull people's coattails. You got to, instruct the players the way that they need to be instructed. So, for the fact that he is a player's coach, which you can see, they love him. He even said himself that the players said, you have to get back to yourself. We need that same old Nick. So, the players want you jarring with the fans on the sideline. They look for you to do that. That's kind of unsettling to me. You know what I mean? Because they would never go to an Andy Reid and say, Andy, we need you to, start going back at it with the fans again. No. So, even in that right there, man, it's the win, but it's a win to what extent? Like, it's the win to what extent? Because these wins are masking a bigger hole that is within the team. You know what I'm saying? That we still can't address. Now, one good thing I'm going to say as an Eagles fan, we have an owner that's willing to spend money, and we have a GM that's very aggressive. You know what I'm saying? Those things right there, if you're an Eagles fan, those are two things that we can lean on and say that even though this year might not be the year, when they find the right pieces and they hit on it, we'll be good. I don't know how much you can feel solace in that, but we do know that, listen, even though they paid Jalen Hurts, if they feel like, Jalen, you're not the guy, we'll get the right quarterback in here because, we did it with Carson Wentz. We ate a lot of that. You know what I mean? That dead money because Carson, and people thought that we wouldn't do it. Oh, no team will ever eat this much dead cap money, and the Eagles did it. And within that, the Eagles did it and found a quarterback and they moved on. So I do believe that they will do it again. The Eagles did let Doug Peterson go, and he is the only head coach in Eagles history to bring us a Super Bowl. So if he bring us a Super Bowl and they let Doug Peterson go so soon, Nick, you going to the Super Bowl is not enough to keep your job. But Eagles fan, it is a win nonetheless. Hopefully it's something that we can build on. Like I said, the like I said, the Eagles, you know what I'm saying? Jaylen HZ, they have a clean game. Hopefully that's something he can build on. And we can just move forward as such. Bird's Eye Breakdown, you know what I mean, viewers and fans alike. This is another episode. Like I said, Bird's Eye View Breakdown, powered by Expansion Team. Check out Expansion Team, given to you guys every Thursday, where ISO and Woods not only break down Eagles and the Cowboys games, they give you their predictions of every game going into the week, as well as their betting predictions. I don't know, fans. I'm not really excited about this win, man. I'm not really excited. I thought I was gonna be more excited about it. I am excited that, Jalen Hurts had a clean game. I'm excited to see A.J. Brown come and have a good game. I'm excited that Devontae Smith was out there, but it's moving. Things are moving too slow when you see other teams hitting on what they need to hit on at this point. This is where you're supposed to hit your stride and you can identify with who you are, not still trying to figure out and we tinkering with things. We're yet to have that go-to play and say, yo, we need to get X amount of yards. This is the play that we go to because we can get that. Or this is the running play that we go to that we can get that. We've yet to find that play other than the Beverly shove. But how many times are you going to be in a third and short predicament where you're going to need that? I'm talking about when you need 5 yards, 6 yards. This is the play that we get 5 yards every time. This is the play that we go to on this running play that we know we can get 4 yards. We still trying to figure out this stuff right now. Even with Nick Sirianni as a head coach, we don't even really know who he is. You know what I mean? It was lightning in the bottle his second year. Right now, things are seeming like they're tapering off. I don't know, man. But like I said, the New York Giants is another team that we should dominate. We should have dominated this game. We will find out. Yo, thank y'all for coming here, man. Like I said, leave a comment. Let me know how y'all felt about this win. Should Nick get fired? Should he stay? Should he go? If so, who should we pick up? That's another question right there. You know what I mean? Because everybody's calling for him like we just let him go and pick up who? Anybody willy-nilly? I don't think that's the answer as well. I know a lot of people are saying, well, Bill Belichick's out there. Does Howie want to go back to the back room like he did with Chip Kelly and not be seen again? If Bill Belichick wants to step in and be the GM like we know him to be, is Bill Belichick just want to be the head coach and relinquish his GM duties? We don't know, man. But to this point, I really want a head coach that's going to be disciplined because I think that's all that this team really needs. I'm not going to say that we need an offensive coordinator or we need a defensive coordinator. We just need to be a disciplined team. You know what I'm saying? And that starts at the top. I appreciate y'all. I thank y'all. See you guys next week. EHELES, Bird Gang. We did it again. Hopefully we can pull out another win. Hopefully.